Hey guys, try not to trip over my charging cord here. Get you guys all plugged in. Sorry I've not been putting out much content. I've had so much going on behind the scenes. I've got my oil tester over there. I haven't even put oil in it. I know once I start dinking with it, I'm going to be making all kinds of oil videos. I still have, let me sit down here. I still have the 2511 all torn apart. I'm going to probably resume on that sometime this week. But, how do I want to word this? I wasn't going to show this one-off, well, two-off, I guess he built me two of them, custom upgrade for this race saw. Before I show you guys this custom specifically built a2d filter setup that will not be available currently. It is not currently available to anyone other than me. I'm doing some, we're going to be doing dyno testing, we're going to be doing race testing. This is a prototype right now, and we don't know what the future is going to hold for it. I don't know if I'm going to want it out there depending on how well it works. I don't know if I'm going to want to have to compete against it, but it's too cool not to show you guys, and it is totally within the Sawfest rules and regulations. So this is a carb swap, high performance air filter upgrade for my saw. I can't thank a2d enough. Alex there, a2d. a2d Designs, if you want to know where to get the normal a2d filter setups. He has, I couldn't tell you how many hours he's put in to designing this for me. I've given him input, and then he's done his thing, and then input, and I'm going to give him some different input later on a couple things I think we can change to make it easier to use, more user friendly, and I think it'll work just fine. It did require me to have to I couldn't run this, and then I pulled this out of my knob here and finding out that it's just a bolt that they had plastic formed around there. So I'm going to go buy a shorter bolt with the same size head, press it back in there, and I think I'm going to take my heat gun and fold it all back over, and hopefully it'd be nice to for the look, because if that was on there, just by first glance you would think, yeah, he's got an a2d on it. Where's my other eraser at? Right here. You would think I have an a2d on that. This has the foam filter setup in it. Looks very similar, don't it? This one's a little different. You want to see underneath the hood. I'm super stoked. I feel like a kid in a candy store. I feel like a kid on Christmas. My favorite chassis saw. This is just a Husky bolt that I picked up. I got to find one of these bolts with that head on it and put it in there so I can have that on it. If I can't, I might heat this up and just press the damn thing into it and dip it in a bucket of water and see how long it holds. But I had to do some trimming in here. I will be drilling some holes or cutting some slots and using this glue and this filter type stuff for more flow. But I don't know if that's coming in on camera or not. Looks like it. This has a velocity stack built into the filter, and it's designed for high flow. I really didn't want to show this to you guys, but it's just too cool not to show you. He's not offering it to anyone else, so don't pester him. But that's the air filter right there. There's the velocity stack for the carb swap. And with that carb swap, these two screws are right where they're supposed to be. I can still get to this one, it's just on a slight different angle. But all my throttle stuff's working. This just goes on just like that. This seals up against the bottom of it. I can't imagine how much fiddling around in design time that he's got into this. This is stepped up in clearance for maximum airflow. This choke's a little hinky anyway because I had to make it fit, but there it goes. I don't want to break my choke rod. I really gotta, because there's my high idle, I really gotta I have to adjust my choke rod a little bit more. I had to make that, but my choke does shut. 100% Sawfest legal. I would like to be able to get my high idle, but it's not nothing to do with this thing. This thing's kind of, but there it will get the high idle. Might make me a new choke rod. I actually built this choke rod out of a throttle linkage, but yeah, so pulls air from here straight across and into the velocity stack, and I want to do the same thing I think on this, because it probably draw out a shape with a Sharpie and grind it out, and then I'll glue that black stuff in. And this is supposed to even repel water. I've never used this stuff before. I'll take a crash course into it. But yeah, this is, I'm absolutely thrilled. This is so freaking cool, guys. Like this is huge. I also have in the works a custom piston being made. I don't know if the guy making the piston wants to be named or not, so I won't name him, but it'll be a custom billet piston with coating, super light, built to my specifications. It's not cheap. That's going to cost me $750 for the piston. But this is my hobby, my joy, this chassis saw. I know it sounds crazy, but I want to build the absolute baddest 4910 that I can. And one of two things. It's either going to be the world's fastest 4910, or it's going to be the world's most expensive 4910. Maybe it'll be both. I don't know. But this one's got my crank and piston swap, but I got another one. Well, actually, it'll probably be this one getting the custom. Both of these are brand new saws, but this one's only been raced once. And this should be a really fast saw, because it is essentially the same build as the one that won Sawfest. Just on an 11mm pin instead of a 10mm pin. And the piston I'm going to be having made is for 11 millimeter pin too, just so I don't have to dink with trying to find cranks. Because that 10 millimeter wrist pin crank is a biatch to find. But here's what that velocity stack. Here's a rough one. This is the other one. I think I'm going to talk to him about. I think for racing, I don't even think it's a real pain to get to these two bolts. That's why these are hollowed out. I think he's better off leaving these full and maybe making a pair of studs that are slightly smaller in diameter that can just slide down in there, because there's no weight of a filter on this. It's just holding the carb tight. And he's working on building me a custom intake block too. That's gonna be next for this thing. And here's a close-up of the rough wedge. Absolutely killer what he came up with. Thread this in here so I don't lose it. It's not like I'll be able to get another one anytime soon. Yeah, this one don't have the filter on it yet. I'll have to cut some of that. So yeah, so make me a knob fit. If not, I guess that ain't that horrible. I could weld the wing nut onto that, but I think I think I can make this work. Super duper thrilled now that this has got a filter. If I get some time, I've yet to even put this one on a piece of wood. I still got to make my better spacers for it, but yeah, I'll be buying a new cylinder to go along with that custom piston for this one. Yeah. I also picked up the complete 620. He's got everything in here, I do believe. This is the 620. So I picked up that 620 PW. I wanted one of his kits for that because I like his kit so much. Yep. Right here's the complete 620 upgrade. I'm actually going to put this in a box. So if you guys can't get this one, but if you're looking for the a2d setup, well, I can show you because the other gentleman's came in as well. And these just keep looking, but every time I get one from them, they just look better and better and better. The Briscoe built one that he puts on there. This is the ones that he sells with the upgraded I don't see the top. I think I got a top floating around here. Yeah, looks like I'm missing the top. I've got another kit here. I'll pull the top out of. But there's a top that goes on here. But these are the kits you guys can get. Just get a hold of Alex at a2d Designs. And he stands by his stuff too. Like if it cracks, breaks, or whatever, just get a hold of him. And his stuff is awesome. I've never had one. I don't know if I was jibber jabbering on the phone. I set that top down, or because the 620 top is different. But that's okay. If I have to, I'll give them the top off this one. Because this one's going to be getting, when I get the piston swap stuff, it's going to be getting a carb swap as well. That's what this filter kit's for. Is this one. So, yeah, I wasn't going to show you guys that, but let me know what you guys think. I'm super stoked. We'll get a little bit more airflow up in here. I'll get the thing made, and hopefully by this weekend, I still ain't even straightened out my fouling spike from where this thing got knocked off the shelf. Hopefully nothing else got damaged on it. But feel like a kid at Christmas. And then this thing's gonna be cool. It's got two different trays. It's magnetically, you put your oil in it, and it takes these bearing, it spins an outer race, and then these push on that race with I haven't even used this thing yet, but, and then you just stack. I don't know how much these weights weigh, but you can keep stacking weights, and then it'll read up the volts and the amp draw. And I will be testing two-stroke oil. I will be, you probably shouldn't do it, but I'm going to be testing mixed gas and oil in there too as well, so we can see how the two-stroke oil holds up to lube being mixed with gas. We're going to be testing bar oils. I think this type of setup will be more suited for the bar oils because it's similar lubrication. The two-stroke oil kind of in the gas works a little different, but we can test, in the pure form of what oil's the best. Won't be able to test like how clean an oil keeps something or whatever, but we'll be testing bar oils. I want to test grease for my pins for my bucket loader and my excavator. I want to test all kinds of different stuff. We can test motor oils, what work good in our tractors and stuff. Any formulas that I have for my racing, I will show the results of what my stuff that I mix up and make for my own race stuff, but I won't be showing what I mix into it. There is just some things I have to keep a secret, guys. Especially if I am such a horrible racer. If there's something that gives me any kind of edge over the average competitor, I'm not letting it out there because I'm a shitty racer. But I wanted this one because I was going to build something like this, but everything I was looking at to build it, it would have probably took up half this bench. I saw this, I've watched videos on it. I really wanted it. It was small and compact, and when I'm done with it, we can scoot it off to the side. It was supposed to come with a case. I did not get the case, and I thought I was getting scammed because they were trying to get me to cover shipping on the thing outside of eBay, and I wasn't going to do it. Not when I purchased it, and it said it had free shipping. So, but I've been wanting one of these things for a very long time. I think we'll be able to get lots of tests on a bearing because it's not pushing dead center on it. It's more up on the front, so we can keep rotating it, and then I should be able to flip the bearing around and get more testing as well. And then when this race is worn out, I got another one here, but I'm going to take that race down to Napa and see if they can match that race up, and then find out if I can just buy replacement races instead of having to order stuff from across the pond. But I'm just glad I didn't get ripped off. There's between the stuff that I ordered for it, and the stuff I've got coming for it, and what I paid for this machine, I'm about $750 into it. I was really weighing the decision to use the $750 for this or the piston, but I'm hoping this will get lots of views with oil testing. A lot of people that have these seem to have lots of views on their channels or whatever. You know, I have no intentions of getting involved as deep as like what Project Farm and stuff's got, where he's sending oil out for testing and all that. We'll just do basic testing, see if it passes or fails. We can get measurements on the wear scar and all that, and make our own conclusions from there. We can probably do time-lapse time and see how hot the race gets to with whatever oil running on it. But and that's another thing too, is as I get familiar with it and we start using it, if you guys want to see something tested against something else, I can either try to pick it up and purchase it, but I'm not going to go out and dump $1,000 in a bunch of different oils just to make. I'll make a few videos on what oils I have here. Might pick up a couple different bar and chain oils, just because it's about. I got just the Tractor Supply stuff here right now. I'm gonna have to get more here sooner or later, and then maybe I'll show my blends of my racing oils and what they do, and how much they cut down on the amps and stuff. I'm just in my time test cuts. I'm sure that it's gonna have less amp draw, but I never tested it, so we'll find out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I am super stoked on this. But I might be open to, if you guys want to send little test samples in of something tested or whatever. Might be more than open to that. Or if there's a specific bar oil that's not too crazy pricey or something, I might pick up to do some testing. But this is, Timken made these things back in the 30s to test bearings and stuff. I know some people use these to test car engine oil. This type of application, I would say flat tappet cam to lifter drag would be similar to this, because that's the lifter's pressurized, but them are splash lube, but an actual like 350 Chevy or whatever, the bearing, the cam and the crank bearings, it's pressurized with oil, and the parts are floating in oil. This will not simulate. We could probably simulate how a camshaft would wear on this, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, but this should simulate what a bar oil would do to a T, because that's about the same pressure. I mean, whether this is submerged in oil or it's just dribbling, oozing out of your bar hole, the bar and chain oil is not very pressurized on your system. So I'm really looking forward to do some testing. I'm really looking forward to seeing on the two-stroke oil what ones have the best protection against wear. Even in that, it's not going to be 100% simulated, but you probably shouldn't be putting gas in here and doing it anyway, but we're going to do it. I'll just have a fire extinguisher and the air hose ready. That thing's only going to hold about an ounce of gas anyway, so if it gets hot and throws a spark or something and bursts into flames or whatever, we should be able to put it out pretty easy. I say that now until I burn my shop now. But either way, we're going to be testing fuel mixes with gas, without gas. I'm going to be testing some different additives. I know there's a bunch of like new mollies and stuff that's out on the market that I kind of want to test that stuff in with the bar oil and see what happens. There's some greases I want to test. I've heard greases come a long way on some of that stuff. And tractors are expensive, so if I can come up with a grease that doesn't wear much on this thing or whatever, we're going to be going that route for my loaders and my little Mini. So I've jibber jabbered on here enough. I think tomorrow maybe we will start back on the Community 2511 build. So let me know what you think of my a2d. I have jibber jabbered on here. Sorry for I have not been putting out much content. I think I'm going to just feed the wood stove tonight, get the shop good and warm, and try to keep it going so we can work tomorrow. So you guys have a good one.